She warned them to stay out. They didn't listen, so she made sure they'd never try again. Tasha Williams had worked hard for everything she owned. At 42, she was proud of her home, a lovely two-level house in Chandler, Arizona. Her backyard was her quiet place. Palm trees lined the fence, and in the middle was her treasure, a clean, well-kept pool. She didn't like to boast, but she had every right to be happy. She bought the house alone, with no help, just years of saving and smart choices. Her neighborhood was mostly families, some friendly, some distant. Tasha didn't care. She just wanted peace. But that peace didn't last. The first time it happened, she ignored it. One Saturday, she came home and saw wet footprints leading from her backyard gate to the sidewalk. At first, she thought it was a worker. Then she spotted a soaked towel tossed over her fence. She checked the pool. The water was lower. Her float was moved. A half-empty soda can sat on her chair. Someone had been in her yard. She tried to stay calm. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe a kid had climbed the fence and run off. But when she asked her neighbors, they just shrugged. "Probably just kids," one woman said, laughing. "You know how they act." Another neighbor, a man in his 50s, barely looked up from his car. "They're just having fun. You've got a nice pool, Miss Williams. People notice." The way he said it upset her, but she let it go. She tightened the lock on her gate, hoping it wouldn't happen again. But it did. A week later, she was inside when she heard splashing. At first, she thought it was the pool filter. Then, laughter. She looked outside. A teenage boy was swimming like he owned the place. A girl, maybe his sister, sat on the edge, dipping her feet in. Tasha yanked the door open. "Excuse me." The kids froze. The boy scrambled out of the water. I thought you wouldn't mind," he stammered. "You didn't even ask," Tasha snapped. "Who are you?" The girl mumbled that they lived nearby. Then they ran off. Tasha stood there, furious. She wanted to let it go, but then came the excuses. The next day, she talked to the kids' parents, expecting an apology. Instead, she got an argument. "Oh, relax," the mother said. "They're just kids. It's hot out. What's the problem?" Tasha stared. "The problem is, this is my property, my home, my pool, and I didn't invite anyone." The father crossed his arms. "You're overreacting." Overreacting. That's what people called it when they weren't the ones being disrespected. Tasha held back her anger. Instead, she put up security cameras. Maybe that would stop them. For 2 weeks, it worked. No more footprints, no more wet towels, no more strangers in her pool. Then, on a hot Saturday, she came home and saw her side gate open, the one she always kept locked. A bad feeling hit her. She walked to the backyard, and there it was. Her yard was full of people, not just kids, but adults too. Her chairs were taken. Beer bottles littered the ground. Someone had even set up a table with food. Her pool was crowded. Women stood waist-deep, chatting. A man leaned against the edge, drinking and smiling. For a second, Tasha wondered if she was dreaming. Was this real? She took a step forward, scanning the crowd. Then she locked eyes with one of her neighbors, Sandra, from 3 houses down. Sandra, who had never spoken to Tasha before, waved like this was some friendly gathering. "Hey, girl, hope you don't mind," Sandra called out. "It's so hot today. We figured we'd cool off." Tasha's jaw clenched. Mind? Oh, she minded. Her voice came out cold and firm. "Every single one of you, get out, now." Some people froze. Others exchanged looks, as if she was the unreasonable one. Sandra rolled her eyes. "Oh, don't be like that. It's just a pool. You weren't even home." Tasha stepped forward, fury simmering under her skin. "It's not just a pool. It's my pool, my house, my yard. You don't live here. You don't pay for this. So get out, all of you." Someone muttered, "Geez, what's her problem?" That was it. Tasha marched to the pool equipment box, grabbed the remote, and shut off the filter. Then she ripped the power cord from the speakers. Silence. "I'm calling the police," she announced. Now they moved. Drinks were snatched up. Towels were grabbed. Within minutes, her yard was empty. Sandra, though, had the nerve to glare on her way out. "You don't have to be so stuck up," she grumbled. Nobody was wrecking anything. Tasha wanted to yell. Instead, she stood stiff, watching them leave like she was the one in the wrong. She slammed the gate shut, locked it, and stood there, hands on her hips, seething. But one thing was clear. This wasn't over. They had no respect for her. And if respect wouldn't stop them, something else would. Tasha had tried everything: talking, reasoning, cameras, locks. None of it worked. Now? Time to get clever. She sat at her kitchen table staring at the security footage from earlier. The audacity of these people, acting like her home was theirs to use whenever they wanted. She wasn't just angry anymore. She was done. And if they kept treating her pool like a public water park, she'd make sure their next visit was their last. First, she went to the hardware store. She bought 2 heavy-duty locks, one for the side gate, one for the pool box. The old ones were strong, but these, unbreakable. Next, she went online and ordered a special chemical for her pool. Not chlorine, something stronger. It wasn't dangerous, just a clever trick used by public pools to catch troublemakers. It was called pool dye, a harmless chemical that turns water bright green if someone pees in it. Yep. If any of those uninvited guests tried using her pool again, they'd walk out looking like a glowing alien. But that was just the beginning. Tasha wanted insurance, something to scare them off for good. So, she visited a local sign shop and had a custom warning made. The next morning, she bolted it onto her fence where everyone could see. Warning: pool chemically treated for unauthorized use. Exposure may cause rash, severe itching, or temporary skin discoloration. Did it sound extreme? Sure. Was any of it true? Number. But they didn't know that. To make it convincing, she placed an empty hazardous chemicals box near the pump, something she got from a friend in maintenance. Now, all she had to do was wait. It didn't take long. The next hot afternoon, Tasha sat by her window, sipping iced tea, watching. Most of the day was quiet, until 2 teenagers walked past her fence. They stopped, read the sign. One whispered something, then pointed at the chemical box. Within seconds, they turned around and left. Tasha smirked. Later that night, Sandra, the same rude neighbor from the pool party, was walking her dog when she spotted the sign. She squinted at it, then pulled out her phone and started typing. Tasha checked Facebook a few minutes later. There it was, a post in the neighborhood group. FYI, looks like Tasha put some kind of weird chemical in her pool. Says it causes rashes and skin problems. Not sure how safe that is. Just a heads up. The comments poured in. Oh my God, what if it leaks into the ground? That doesn't sound legal. Why does she care so much? It's just water. Tasha laughed out loud. They weren't mad because she lied or because they got caught. They were mad because their free pool days were over. And if they wanted to test her? Good luck. For the first time in months, Tasha felt at peace. No more random towels. No more strangers in her yard. No more entitled attitudes. Her plan had worked. Or so she thought. Then came the knock. It was a Thursday evening when she heard it. Sharp, impatient banging on her front door. She set down her drink and peeked through the peephole. Sandra, arms crossed, looked furious. Tasha sighed. "Here we go." She opened the door, keeping her face calm. "Yes?" Sandra didn't waste time. "We need to talk." Tasha raised an eyebrow. "Do we?" Sandra huffed. "Look, I don't know what your problem is, but people are saying you put dangerous chemicals in your pool." Tasha blinked, then smirked. "I did." She spoke smoothly. "To keep out uninvited guests." Sandra's jaw clenched. "You can't do that." "What if a kid touches the water?" Tasha folded her arms. "A kid who broke into my yard?" Sandra hesitated. "That's not the point." "It's exactly the point," Tasha fired back. "I told people to stay out. They didn't listen. So I took precautions." Sandra scoffed. "You're ridiculous. You don't even have kids. The pool just sits there, going to waste." Tasha tilted her head. "So because I don't have kids, my pool is free for everyone?" Sandra rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on." Tasha cut her off. "No, you come on, Sandra. You and everyone else have some nerve. You don't pay my water bill. You don't clean my pool. But you think you can just help yourselves?" Sandra's face turned red. "Well, if you weren't so unfriendly, maybe people would actually like you." Tasha laughed, a deep, real laugh. "That's your problem, Sandra. You think being liked means letting people walk all over you." Sandra opened her mouth, then shut it. Finally, she shook her head in frustration. "You know what? Forget it." She turned to leave. Tasha called after her. "Enjoy using your own hose this summer." Sandra stomped away. Tasha shut the door, smiling to herself. They were mad, but they'd finally gotten the message. Just to be safe, she doubled down. The next morning, she added one last thing: motion-activated sprinklers along the fence. If anyone tried to sneak in, they'd get a freezing surprise. But the best part, she never had to use them. Nobody tried again. The freeloading days were over. After months of frustration, Tasha had finally reclaimed her peace. The pool was hers again. The backyard was quiet. The entitlement was gone. And the best part? She never even had to call the police, because that was never the goal. She didn't want drama or enemies. She just wanted respect for what was hers. But here's the truth. Some people won't respect boundaries unless you force them to. Tasha had tried being nice. She'd given warnings. She'd even asked politely. And they'd ignored her every time. But the second she fought back, they backed off. Because, at the end of the day, people will take as much as you let them. It doesn't matter if it's your time, your space, your energy, or even your damn swimming pool. If you don't set boundaries, someone will walk all over you. So, was Tasha petty? Maybe. Was she wrong? Not even a little. What about you? Have you ever had to stand your ground when people tried to take advantage? Or better yet, how would you have handled this? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you like this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. Thanks for watching, and remember, respect is earned, not given.